All right, so here's the first question you sent me. It says, for what values of x make the denominator equal to 0? So we're going to do just that. I'm just going to set the denominator equal to 0. So I get x squared plus 7x plus 10 equals 0. So I can factor this. So I get x, we'll do plus 5 and plus 2. So I'm going to set each factor equal to 0. So I get x plus 5 equals 0. And x plus 2 equals 0. Solving this, I get x equals negative 5. Solving this, I get x equals negative 2. So there's my answer. X equals negative 2, comma, negative 5. Okay. Next one. Oh, let me shrink that a little bit. All right, this has solved the equation. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to get rid of that square root, right? It's already by itself, so I'm going to square both sides. So the square root of x plus 76 squared is just going to be x plus 76. Equals, this is a binomial being squared. So this is x plus 4 times x plus 4. So when I FOIL that, I'm going to get x squared plus 4x, that gives me plus 8x plus 16. So I have squared terms, linear terms, and constant terms. I'm going to get everything on one side. So I'm going to subtract x, subtract 76, subtract x, subtract 76. So I'm left with 0 equals x squared plus 7x. That's going to be minus 60. 16 minus 76 is 60. Let's see if this factors. 20 and 3, 15 and 4. Let's see. X. X. So, let's try and figure this out. 60. Whoops, turn that on. 60 divided by 4 is 15. That won't give me 7. 20 and 3, 5 and 12. Oh, there we go. So this is going to be positive 12 and negative 5. Perfect. So I'm going to set each of these equal to 0. I end up getting x equals negative 12 or x equals positive 5. But you want to check because one of these is not going to make sense. So what I'm going to do is plug in my answers into the left side. I'm going to do second square root. Let's do negative 12 first. Negative 12 plus 76. So if I do that, I should get negative 12 plus 4. I should get negative 8. I get positive 8. So that's a problem. So this point does not work. I should have gotten negative 8. So it looks like 5 is our answer. Let's just try. Square root of 5 plus 76. That's the square root of 81, which is 5 plus 4, which is 9. So our only answer here is going to be 5. Okay. 22. Shrink this one as well. So there's a number of ways you can go about solving this. I'm just going to show you the way I do it. The first thing I want to do is find the prime factorization of 54. So I'm just going to write 54 at the top and keep dividing it by prime numbers until I can't any longer. So I can divide it by 2. That's the same thing as 2 times 27. So 2's prime, I'm done. I can divide 27 by 3, and I get 9. 3's prime, I'm done. 9 I can divide by 3, and I get 3 and 3. So 54 can be written as 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. So now if I write this out, I'm going to write the square root. I'll explain why that's so long. Sorry, that's not perfectly straight. I'm going to first write 54 as its prime factorization. 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. I have x to the 10th power. That's going to be x times x 10 times. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I have y to the 11th. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So since this is a square root, anything that I'm squaring inside, I can bring out. So I'm going to bring out any groups of 2, okay? So if I have the square root of 3 squared, I can bring that 3 out and just put 3 in front. So there'll be a 3 in front. There's only one other 3 and one other 2, so they're going to stay. I can bring out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of x. So this is going to be x to the 5th out front. I can bring out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of y. So this is going to be y to the 5th out front. And I'm going to rewrite everything that's left. 2 times 3 is 6. There's no x's left, and I have 1 y left, so this is just going to be like that. So a is the number in front, which is this guy. This is going to be 3x to the 5th, y to the 5th. And b is the number inside, which is just going to be 6y. Okay. And the last one. This says the formula y equals 2.9 times square root of x plus 8 models the percent of U.S. adults who are considered obese. X is the number of years after 1981. X is the number of years after 1981. We'll keep that in mind. Y is the percent of obese adults. In this equation, y is already converted from a decimal. So we're not going to write 0.55. We're going to write just 55, literally as the decimal it's written. According to the formula, in what year will the obesity rate be 16.2%? I'm just going to let y be 16.2. 16.2 equals 2.9 times the square root of x plus 8. Now it's a matter of just solving this equation for x. I'm going to subtract 8. Subtract 8. I get 16.2 minus 8 is 8.2 equals 2.9 times the square root of x. I want to get the square root of x by itself. I'm going to divide both sides by 2.9. I get 2.8276 equals the square root of x. So lastly, I'm just going to square both sides. I'm just going to take that whole number and square it. 7.995. So to the nearest year, it's going to be 7.99 years after 1981. So I'm going to add that to 1981 plus 1981. So it's sometime, even though this looks like it should round up to 1989, I believe the answer should just still be sometime in 1988. We'll say sometime in late 1988, like December or something. Okay.